My friends, let me ask you a question. How many of you feel today moves faster than ever before? Every day, new technologies are born, new opportunities appear, new industries rise while others fall, and the rules of the game keep changing before we even get used to them. The world we live in today is not the same world we lived in yesterday. What made someone successful in the past is not guaranteed to work today, and what works today may become irrelevant tomorrow. This is the reality of our time, and if we are not willing to change, if we are not willing to learn, if we are not willing to educate ourselves daily, then we will slowly fall behind, not because we are not smart enough or talented enough, but because we refuse to grow as the world kept moving forward. Think about it. 20 years ago, many of the biggest companies in the world today did not even exist. There was no iPhone, no social media as we know it, no digital platforms that could connect billions of people instantly. Jobs that seemed stable and secure back then no longer exist today, and entirely new careers have been created that no school could have predicted. This is the pace of change. It does not wait for you, it does not slow down, it does not ask for permission. The world moves forward with or without you, and the only way to keep up, the only way to remain valuable, is to change yourself daily, to grow yourself daily, to educate yourself daily. The danger is not that the world changes. It always has. The danger is believing that what you know today will always be enough. Imagine someone who studied once, got a degree, and then decided to stop learning. At first, they may feel comfortable, even proud of their achievement. But as the years pass, new skills are demanded, new tools are introduced, and new knowledge is required. Slowly, without even realizing it, they become outdated. They lose confidence, they miss opportunities, and they start to wonder why others are moving forward while they are stuck in the same place. The truth is simple. If you stop learning, you stop growing, and when you stop growing, you start falling behind. But let me give you hope. The good news is that growth does not come from massive, overwhelming effort. It comes from small, consistent steps. Just as the world changes every single day, you must also change every single day. It does not mean you must reinvent yourself overnight. It means making the choice to learn something new daily, to expand your mind, to sharpen your skills, to keep yourself moving forward. This small habit, done daily, becomes a shield against irrelevance and a bridge to new opportunities. Look at the people who thrive in fast, changing times. They are not the ones who know the most at the beginning. They are the ones who remain curious, humble, and willing to learn as the world shifts around them. They don't resist change. They adapt to it. And they adapt because they educate themselves daily. They read, they listen, they observe, they ask questions. And they never believe they know enough. That attitude keeps them relevant, valuable, and prepared no matter what comes next. The world is like a river. It never stops flowing. You cannot stand still in it. Either you move with it or you are swept away by it. Daily education is how you learn to swim in this river. It is how you build the strength to not only survive but also to navigate where you want to go. And when you look at your own life, you must ask yourself, am I changing daily or am I standing still while the river flows on? Now, let me tell you something very important. Education is not only about school. Many people make the mistake of believing that once they finish their degree, once they graduate, their education is complete. They think education belongs only to classrooms, teachers, and exams. But that is one of the greatest lies we've been told. School may give you a foundation, it may give you structure, but it will never give you everything you need for life. If you believe that your learning stops the day you leave school, then your growth also stops. And when growth stops, opportunities vanish. Think about it. How many of the most valuable lessons in your life came from textbooks? Did school ever teach you how to deal with failure, how to handle rejection, how to rise after falling, or how to manage your emotions when everything feels like it's falling apart? No. These lessons come from experience, from people, from the real challenges of life. School can teach you how to solve equations, but life teaches you how to solve problems that do not have a clear formula. School can prepare you to pass exams, but life will test you without warning, without instructions, and without mercy. That is why your true education must go far beyond classrooms. Every single day, life offers you free lessons. But the question is, are you paying attention? When you meet someone wiser than you, that is a lesson. When you make a mistake that hurts, that is a lesson. When you try something new and it doesn't work, that is a lesson. Even your failures, even your rejections, even your disappointments, all of them are teachers if you are willing to learn. The problem is, most people do not treat these moments as education. They complain, they get angry, they blame others, and in doing so, they throw away the very lessons that could change their lives. Real education requires humility. It requires you to admit, I don't know everything, and that's okay, but I am willing to learn. It requires you to keep your eyes open and your heart open to the wisdom around you. Sometimes a single conversation with the right person can teach you more than an entire semester in school. Sometimes reading one powerful book can transform your mindset more than years of lectures. Sometimes reflecting deeply on one failure can prepare you better for success than any textbook ever could. And let me tell you, this is why so many people who did not succeed in school still succeed in life, because they understood that learning never ends, and they chose to educate themselves daily. On the other hand, many who were top of their class, who thought their degrees would guarantee their future, ended up struggling because they stopped learning after graduation. They thought the certificate was the finish line, when in truth, it was only the starting point. So ask yourself, what is your definition of education? If you think it is only a diploma, then you are limiting your growth. But if you see education as everything you absorb from books, from people, from experiences, from failure, from reflection, then you will never stop growing. The world belongs to those who see every day as a classroom, who understand that the greatest university is life itself, and that the best teachers are often disguised as struggles, disappointments, and even painful failures. Let us move deeper into the truth of growth. So many people believe that success requires one giant leap, one massive breakthrough, one extraordinary stroke of luck that will suddenly transform their lives. But the reality is very different. Success is rarely about doing something huge once. It is about doing something small consistently every single day. Small learning daily compounds into greatness. And it is this compounding power that separates those who only dream from those who achieve. Think about it in the simplest way. If you choose to improve yourself just 1% every day, at the end of 1 year, you are not 365% better. You are nearly 38 times better. That is the power of compounding. Just like money invested daily grows into wealth, knowledge invested daily grows into wisdom, confidence, and success. Yet, most people underestimate small daily efforts because they look so ordinary, so simple, so unimpressive in the moment. They would rather chase something big and immediate, but life doesn't reward sudden explosions. It rewards steady growth. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people. The first person decides to do nothing different each day. They say, I'll start learning tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. The second person, on the other hand, commits to reading just 10 pages of a good book every day. It doesn't seem like much. 10 pages is nothing. But after 1 year, that person has read over 600 pages, which is more than 15 books. 15 books of knowledge, wisdom, and perspective that the other person completely missed. One small decision repeated daily separates them into two entirely different futures. The same is true with skills. If you spend just 30 minutes a day learning a new language, a new instrument, or a new technical skill, you may not notice a dramatic change tomorrow or next week. But after months, you will realize you have developed a new ability that could open doors for you, doors that others who waited for a big opportunity will never see. Small learning may not impress people at first, but over time, it creates results so massive that they cannot be ignored. The tragedy is that people give up too quickly because they underestimate time. They expect results too fast, and when they don't see them, they quit. They forget that the tallest tree began as a tiny seed, that the strongest building started with a single brick, that the longest journey begins with just one step. Greatness is not built in a day, but it is built daily. The question is not, can you achieve something great in one moment? The real question is, can you discipline yourself to learn to grow and to build yourself every day without stopping? And here lies the secret. The small daily actions you take are not only teaching you knowledge, they are shaping your identity. When you commit to learning daily, you begin to see yourself as someone who grows, someone who improves, someone who invests in their future. That identity is far more powerful than any single achievement, because once you see yourself as a learner, you will never again settle for stagnation. The momentum of growth carries you forward, and the compounding effect takes over, building your future day by day, lesson by lesson, step by step. So don't underestimate the power of small learning. A few pages read, a few notes written, a few minutes of reflection, a few lessons practiced. They may not seem like much today, but they are the building blocks of the greatness you dream about. And one day, you will look back and realize that the person you have become is not the result of one extraordinary moment, but of thousands of ordinary moments stacked together, compounding into a life of strength, wisdom, and success. There is something magical that happens when you begin to educate yourself daily. At first, it feels small. You read a little here, listen a little there, study something new in your free time. It may not feel like much, but what you don't realize is that self-education is quietly reshaping the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you. Knowledge does not only give you information, it gives you confidence. And confidence is the foundation upon which opportunity is built. Think for a moment about the times you held back from speaking up, the times you doubted yourself, the times you wanted to take a chance but stayed silent because you weren't sure if you were ready. Why does that happen? Most of the time it happens because deep down, you know you don't have enough knowledge in that area. You fear being judged, being wrong, or being unprepared. But when you educate yourself, when you take the time to learn, your mind begins to shift. You walk into a room with a different posture. You speak with a different tone. You act with a different energy because you are no longer guessing, That knowledge becomes your armor, and that armor gives you the courage to step forward when others hesitate. And here is the truth: the world opens doors for people who have the courage to walk through them. But that courage is built on self-education. The more you learn, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the more risks you take. The more risks you take, the more opportunities you discover. It is a chain reaction. Opportunities don't just appear out of thin air. They appear when you have the confidence to see them and the courage to pursue them. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two people in the same workplace. Both face the same challenges and the same tasks. One person never bothers to learn beyond what is required. They do their job, but they never go further. The other person, however, spends time outside of work studying new skills, reading about the industry, and expanding their understanding. When a problem arises, the first person feels nervous and avoids responsibility, while the second person steps forward with confidence because they know more. Who do you think the manager notices? Who do you think gets the promotion, the respect, and the trust? It's always the one who invested in their own education. Self-education does not only give you confidence in your work, it gives you confidence in your life. Think about how empowering it feels to learn a skill that once intimidated you. Think about the sense of pride when you can explain something clearly, when you can make decisions with clarity, when you can solve problems that used to overwhelm you. That feeling of empowerment is priceless, and it comes from one thing: the commitment to educate yourself. And confidence is not the only reward. Self-education expands your vision. When you learn, you start to see opportunities that others cannot see. Knowledge sharpens your eyes to recognize possibilities hidden in plain sight. A person who reads about finance sees opportunities in the market. A person who studies leadership sees opportunities to guide others. A person who learns about technology sees opportunities to innovate. To the uneducated eye, these same things look invisible, but to the educated mind, they shine like gold. This is why people who continuously learn often seem lucky. From the outside, it looks like opportunities simply fall into their laps, but in reality, those opportunities were always there. It is just that their self-education gave them the confidence to recognize them and the skills to seize them. So remember this: every page you read, every idea you study, every lesson you practice is not just filling your mind. It is preparing you for the doors that will one day open before you. The more you educate yourself, the more confidence you carry. The more confidence you carry, the more opportunities you attract. And the more opportunities you attract, the more your life begins to transform in ways you once thought impossible. One of the greatest strengths you can ever develop in today's world is adaptability. The ability to adjust, to bend without breaking, to shift when the world shifts around you. This is what separates those who survive from those who succeed. And nothing sharpens adaptability more than continuous learning. When you commit to educating yourself daily, you are not only gathering knowledge, You are training your mind to respond, to adjust, and to stay flexible in the face of change. Think about how fast the world evolves. Technology that was cutting edge yesterday is outdated today. Businesses that were dominant a few years ago are now forgotten. Careers that once seemed secure have completely disappeared, while new industries we never imagined have suddenly emerged. The truth is, no matter how skilled or talented you are, if you cannot adapt, you will be left behind. But if you learn every day, you become like water, fluid, flexible, able to take shape in any situation. Adaptability is not about abandoning who you are. It's about expanding who you are. A tree that does not bend in the storm will break, but a tree that bends will survive the strongest winds. Learning daily is what gives you the strength to bend, to adjust, and to thrive no matter what challenges come your way. Every new piece of knowledge you gain becomes a tool in your toolbox, something you can draw upon when life throws unexpected obstacles in your path. Imagine for a moment two different people faced with the same sudden change. Maybe their company introduces a new technology. Maybe their industry shifts direction. Maybe the market takes a turn. One person panics because they have no idea how to respond. They resist the change, they complain, and they cling to the old way of doing things. The other person, however, has been learning daily. They've been reading, staying curious, keeping their mind open. And when the change comes, they adapt quickly, not because they are more talented, but because they have trained their mind to be flexible. The world rewards the second person, not because the world is fair, but because the world moves forward, and only those who move with it stay relevant. And let us be honest, life will always test your adaptability. You will face failures you didn't expect, setbacks you couldn't predict, and opportunities that arrive without warning. If you are rigid, these moments will break you. But if you are constantly learning, you will see these moments not as disasters, but as chances to grow. Education gives you perspective. It helps you understand that failure is not the end, it's simply feedback. It helps you see that problems are not walls, they are doors, but you need the right key. And the right key comes from learning. The most successful people are not the ones who always have the perfect plan. They are the ones who can adjust their plan when it fails. They are the ones who can reinvent themselves when the world demands something new. They are the ones who see change not as an enemy, but as a teacher. And this mindset is only built through the habit of daily learning. The more you learn, the less you fear change, because you know you can adapt. Adaptability is power, because it means you are never trapped. You are never stuck in just one way of thinking, one way of working, or one way of living. When you educate yourself daily, you become like a craftsman who has many tools. You don't panic when the situation changes. You simply reach for another tool. You may not always know the answers immediately, but you know you can find them because your mind has been trained to explore, to question, to search, and to grow. So, every day you spend learning is not just about gaining information. It is about strengthening your ability to adapt to a world that refuses to stand still. And in times of uncertainty, in times of rapid change, in times when others are paralyzed by fear, it will be your adaptability that allows you to stand tall and keep moving forward. When we talk about success, most people focus on goals, dreams, or visions of the future. And yes, goals are important, dreams are necessary. But let me tell you something far more powerful than goals: habits. Because at the end of the day, your future is not shaped by what you say you want. It is shaped by what you do every single day. Your habits define your future. Think carefully about this. What you repeatedly do becomes who you are. If you spend each day wasting time, making excuses, avoiding challenges, then your future will be filled with regret, weakness, and lost opportunities. But if you spend each day learning, growing, practicing discipline, then your future will be filled with strength, wisdom, and possibilities. Life does not give you what you wish for. It gives you what you consistently prepare for. And preparation comes through habits. It is not the big, dramatic decisions that shape destiny. It is the small daily choices. Do you wake up and waste the morning, or do you invest it in yourself? Do you spend hours scrolling aimlessly, or do you read something that feeds your mind? Do you surround yourself with negative influences, or do you seek out people and ideas that lift you higher? These tiny decisions, repeated every day, silently carve the path of your life. And the truth is, the habits you build today will either become the prison that traps you or the wings that set you free. Let me give you an example. Imagine two students. Both have the same intelligence, the same background, and the same potential. One develops the habit of studying for just 1 hour every day. The other decides to wait until exams are near before they start preparing. At first, the difference is invisible. For weeks, maybe even months, you can't see any gap between them. But as time passes, the first student grows stronger, more confident, more capable, while the second remains stuck in cycles of stress and panic. The habit of daily discipline transforms one into a leader and leaves the other always chasing from behind. That is the power of habits. And here's the reality most people don't want to face: you cannot escape your habits. You may have big dreams, but if your habits are small, your future will also be small. You may say you want success, but if your habits are lazy, your life will follow the pattern of your laziness. People like to talk about luck, but luck favors those whose habits put them in the right place at the right time, ready to act when opportunity arrives. Habits also shape your mindset. When you build the habit of educating yourself daily, your mind starts to expect growth, to look for lessons, to welcome challenges. On the other hand, if you build the habit of procrastination, your mind starts to expect delay, to avoid responsibility, to hide from discomfort. Your habits create your identity, and your identity creates your destiny. This is why it is so dangerous to ignore them. The beautiful thing is that habits don't require perfection. They only require consistency. Even small steps repeated daily grow into powerful transformations. Reading 10 pages a day builds a library of knowledge in your mind. Practicing a skill for 30 minutes daily makes you an expert over time. Choosing gratitude each morning rewires your outlook on life. None of these habits look extraordinary in a single day, but when multiplied across months and years, they define the kind of person you become and the kind of future you live. So, look at your life right now. Look at your routines, your patterns, your daily choices. Because your future is already being written, not in some distant tomorrow, but in the habits you practice today. The habits of learning, of discipline, of growth, of reflection. These habits will build the foundation upon which every dream you have will stand. And if you neglect them, then no matter how great your dreams, they will collapse under the weight of your own inconsistency. There is one mistake many people make when it comes to education. They believe that simply knowing something is enough. They read books, attend seminars, listen to podcasts, and collect information, but they never take the next step. They become libraries of unused knowledge, full of theories but empty of results. And let me tell you, knowledge alone has no power. Power comes only when knowledge is applied. Think about it. If knowledge alone created success, then the person who has read the most books or attended the most classes would automatically be the most successful. But we know that isn't true. There are people with degrees, with certifications, with shelves full of notes and textbooks, yet their lives remain the same year after year. On the other hand, there are people with far less formal education who rise to incredible heights, not because they know more, but because they act on what they do know. It is not what you learn. It is what you do with what you learn that changes your life. The danger of knowledge without application is that it creates an illusion of progress. You feel productive because you're learning, but if you never act, you remain stuck in the same place. It's like buying seeds but never planting them, or buying tools but never building anything. Knowledge that stays in your head is wasted potential. Knowledge that moves into action becomes transformation. Let me give you a simple picture. Imagine someone who spends months studying fitness, reading books about nutrition, watching videos about exercise, following experts online. They know every detail about diets and workouts. But if they never step into the gym, if they never change what they eat, then all that knowledge does nothing for their health. Meanwhile, another person who may not know much but decides to start walking 30 minutes a day and eating a little better begins to see results. This is the difference between knowledge and applied knowledge. One collects information, the other changes their life. The same principle applies everywhere. Business, relationships, personal growth, finances. Knowing how to manage money means nothing if you never apply it to your spending. Knowing how to build a business means nothing if you never take the risk to start. Knowing how to communicate means nothing if you remain silent when it matters most. The bridge between potential and success is action. And here's the truth: action itself is the greatest teacher. You will never truly understand something until you practice it. Reading about swimming is not the same as jumping into the water. Studying about leadership is not the same as leading people through challenges. Learning about resilience is not the same as getting back up after failure. Knowledge gives you direction, but application gives you mastery. It is through action that information becomes wisdom. Too many people wait for the perfect moment to act. They say, once I know more, once I'm fully ready, once I have everything in place, then I'll start. But perfection never arrives. The real growth comes from starting with what you already know, even if it's small, and then learning more as you go. The moment you take action, the lessons become real. Your mistakes teach you. Your results guide you. Your experiences refine you. And each time you act, you don't just know, you become. So never fall into the trap of being a thinker only. Be a doer. Take the knowledge you have and put it to work in your life. Test it. Experiment with it. Fail with it. Improve with it. Because knowledge sitting idle in your mind does nothing, but knowledge in action can change everything. My friends, as we have journeyed together through these truths, one thing has become clear: the future belongs to those who commit themselves to daily growth. The world changes every day, and so must you. Education is not confined to classrooms. It lives in your experiences, your failures, your conversations, and your reflections. Small learning daily may seem invisible at first, but over time it compounds into greatness beyond imagination. Self-education gives you the confidence to act and the courage to step into opportunities that others cannot even see. Learning sharpens your adaptability, teaching you to bend with the winds of change instead of being broken by them. Your habits, those quiet daily choices, are already writing the script of your future. And above all, knowledge that remains unused is wasted potential. But knowledge applied with action is the very force that transforms lives. So I ask you, what will you do with today? Will you let it pass as just another day, or will you use it as a step toward the future you dream of? Every single page you read, every single lesson you embrace, every single action you take in alignment with your growth is an investment into the person you are becoming. Do not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Begin today. Educate yourself daily. Act on what you learn. Build habits that shape your destiny. Adapt with courage. Step into opportunities with confidence. And never forget, the greatest investment you can ever make is the one you make in yourself. If you commit to this path, then no matter where you start, no matter how many failures you've faced, no matter how difficult your circumstances may be, you will rise. Because education is not just about learning facts. It is about unlocking your potential, transforming your life, and creating a future that is greater than anything your past has ever imagined.